Let me ask you something. Why do some people break through while others stay stuck in the same cycle for years? Why do some people take control of their lives and build something extraordinary while others keep making excuses, watching opportunities slip through their fingers? The difference isn't luck. It's not intelligence. It's not even talent. The difference is mindset. The way you think shapes your reality. It determines how you respond to challenges, how you handle setbacks, and whether you step up or step back when life tests you. Because make no mistake, life will test you. The real question is, are you ready to take control? Because here's the truth. Success isn't about one big moment. It's not about hitting the jackpot overnight. It's about what you do every single day. It's about the small habits, the tiny decisions that seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they shape your future. Most people wait. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect plan. But winners, they don't wait. They take action. They build momentum. They make progress every single day. And that's what separates them from the rest. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Your self-perception dictates how the world treats you. The way you see yourself is the foundation of how the world will perceive and respond to you. Every action, every word, every movement you make is a reflection of the identity you have built within your own mind. If you believe you are insignificant, the world will treat you as such. If you carry yourself with the belief that you are powerful, capable, and worthy, the world has no choice but to acknowledge that presence. From the moment you wake up, the first thought that enters your mind shapes the direction of your day. When you stand in front of a mirror, what do you see? More importantly, what do you tell yourself? The dialogue you have internally is shaping your external reality. People often make the mistake of waiting for external validation before deciding they are worthy. They wait for success, recognition, or approval from others before they allow themselves to feel confident. But that is not how it works. The world does not hand confidence to you. You project it first, and then the world reflects it back. Consider how a person with an unshakable belief in themselves moves through life. They walk with purpose, they speak with certainty, and they engage with the world in a way that demands respect. Contrast that with someone who doubts their worth, hesitant steps, a quiet voice, avoiding eye contact. The world responds to both individuals exactly as expected. The confident one is given opportunities, listened to, and respected. The hesitant one is overlooked, dismissed, and often ignored. Not because they lack value, but because they failed to convince themselves of their own worth first. History has proven time and time again that those who shape the world are not always the most talented, the most educated, or the most privileged. They are the ones who dared to believe in their own potential before anyone else did. They stepped into rooms as if they belonged there, even when no one had invited them in. They spoke as if their words carried weight, even before they had the experience to back it up. And eventually, the world adjusted to their self-perception. Your mindset is the architect of your destiny. If you see yourself as a leader, you will naturally take charge. If you believe you are meant for greatness, you will carry yourself accordingly. But if you constantly tell yourself that you are not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough, then every action you take will align with that belief. You will hesitate, you will shrink, and you will allow opportunities to pass you by. The world is not biased toward any one person. It is biased toward those who believe in themselves. When you believe you are powerful, you will take the necessary steps to prove it. You will stand taller, speak with clarity, and act with purpose. And in return, people will respond to you with the respect and recognition you have already given to yourself. Confidence is not something external that needs to be gained. It is a choice that is cultivated from within. The moment you decide that you are worthy, everything begins to change. The energy you give off shifts. The way people interact with you shifts because people take cues from you on how to treat you. If you treat yourself with respect, others will follow. If you carry yourself with importance, others will acknowledge your importance. If you see yourself as valuable, the world will reflect that back to you. Confidence is a decision, not a feeling. Most people believe that confidence is something you either have or don't have. They think it's a personality trait, something you are born with or something that is magically given to you through success or achievement. But confidence is not a feeling that suddenly appears. It is a choice you make every single day. It is a decision to act, to move forward, to believe in yourself, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Too many people wait until they feel confident before they take action. They wait until they feel ready to speak up, to take risks, to pursue their goals. But confidence doesn't work that way. It is not something you stumble upon. It is something you create through action. You don't wait to feel ready. You act first, and then confidence follows. Think about the most successful people in the world. They did not start out confident. They were just as uncertain, just as fearful, just as doubtful as anyone else. The difference is that they made a decision. They decided that despite the fear, despite the doubts, they were going to move forward anyway. And through repeated action, they built the confidence they needed to succeed. Confidence is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. If you constantly hesitate, second guess yourself, and allow doubt to dictate your actions, you are weakening that muscle. But if you push forward, take risks, and step into situations that challenge you, you are strengthening it. Every time you choose to act instead of hesitate, you are reinforcing the belief that you are capable. The mistake most people make is waiting for permission to be confident. They wait for someone to tell them they are good enough, smart enough, talented enough. But the truth is, no one is going to give you that permission. You have to take it. You have to decide that you are already enough. And once you make that decision, your actions will begin to align with that belief. Consider someone walking into a room full of strangers. A person who has decided to be confident will stand tall, make eye contact, engage in conversation. A person who has not made that decision will hesitate, avoid eye contact, and stay on the sidelines. The difference is not in their abilities or intelligence. It is in the choice they made before they even walked in. Confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance is an overcompensation for insecurity, while confidence is the result of self-assurance. Confidence is not about thinking you are better than others. It is about knowing that you belong. It is not about pretending. It is about stepping into the reality of who you were meant to be. Doubt is the silent enemy that keeps people stuck. It convinces them to play small, to wait, to hesitate. But the most successful people do not let doubt dictate their choices. They may feel fear, but they do not let it control them. They act. And in doing so, they prove to themselves that they are capable. If you wait to feel confident, you will always be waiting. Confidence does not come from sitting on the sidelines. It comes from stepping into the arena. The more you act, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable. And the more you prove to yourself, the stronger your confidence becomes. At the core of confidence is trust in yourself. Trust that you can handle challenges. Trust that you can learn and grow. Trust that no matter what happens, you will figure it out. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. Every time you take action, you send a message to yourself that you are someone who follows through. You are someone who does not let fear win. You are someone who is willing to step up and claim what is yours. The world does not wait for those who hesitate. It rewards those who move with certainty. The moment you decide that you are capable, your actions begin to align with that belief. And when your actions align with that belief, the world takes notice. Your mindset determines your reality. Everything you experience in life is filtered through the lens of your mindset. The way you think shapes the way you see the world, and the way you see the world determines the choices you make, the opportunities you recognize, and the outcomes you achieve. Your external reality is nothing more than a reflection of your internal beliefs. If you believe the world is full of opportunities, you will find them. If you believe the world is against you, you will find evidence to support that belief. Your thoughts create the foundation for your actions. If you wake up every day telling yourself that life is difficult, that you are unlucky, that success is reserved for others, then every action you take will align with that perspective. You will hesitate when opportunities arise because deep down, you don't believe they are meant for you. You will talk yourself out of risks because you assume failure is inevitable. You will sabotage yourself because your mindset does not allow for a different reality. But if you wake up every day with the mindset that you are in control of your destiny, that you can shape your future, that challenges are opportunities for growth, then your actions will align with that belief. You will seek out solutions instead of focusing on problems. You will push through obstacles instead of retreating. You will see setbacks as lessons rather than as proof that you are not capable. The difference between people who succeed and people who struggle is not intelligence, luck, or talent. it is the way they think. Some people see failure as an endpoint, while others see it as a stepping stone. Some people focus on what is missing, while others focus on what is possible. Some people believe they are at the mercy of circumstances, while others believe they have the power to shape their own path. The reality is that both perspectives are self-fulfilling. If you believe you are powerless, you will act accordingly. If you believe you are capable, you will find ways to prove it. Your mindset is the filter through which you interpret everything that happens to you. Two people can go through the same experience and walk away with completely different perspectives. One might see it as a failure, while the other sees it as a valuable lesson. One might dwell on the negatives, while the other focuses on the growth that came from the struggle. It is not the experience itself that determines your reality. It is the meaning you assign to it. The most powerful thing you can do is take control of your thoughts. Most people let their minds run on autopilot, reacting to whatever happens around them. They allow negativity to shape their perspective, focusing on what they lack, what went wrong, and what could go wrong in the future. But your thoughts are not something that happened to you. They are something you can consciously choose. You can decide to focus on what is possible rather than what is lacking. You can choose to see failures as stepping stones rather than as proof of inadequacy. You can train yourself to interpret challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. Your brain is constantly looking for patterns, reinforcing whatever beliefs you hold. If you believe you are not good enough, your brain will find evidence to support that belief. If you believe you are capable, your brain will find evidence to support that belief. The key is to be intentional about the thoughts you allow to take root. The more you focus on empowering beliefs, the more your mind will naturally align with them. A growth mindset is the foundation of all success. When you believe that you can learn, improve, and adapt, you become unstoppable. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow. Every failure becomes a lesson. Every setback becomes fuel for your next move. The people who thrive are not those who avoid failure, but those who refuse to let failure define them. They understand that setbacks are temporary, that skills can be developed, that effort leads to progress. They see obstacles not as roadblocks, but as chances to become stronger. If you want to change your life, start by changing your mindset. Pay attention to the thoughts you entertain. Replace self-doubt with self-belief. Replace negativity with possibility. Replace fear with action. Your reality is a mirror of your thoughts, and the moment you shift your mindset, everything else begins to shift as well. The only limits that exist are the ones you accept. Most of the barriers people face in life are not external, but internal. The greatest limitations are not those imposed by the world, but those accepted in the mind. People talk themselves out of dreams before they even begin. They convince themselves that certain achievements are out of reach, that success is for others, that they are not good enough, smart enough, or talented enough to reach the heights they aspire to. But these are nothing more than illusions, self-imposed restrictions that only become real if they are believed. History is full of individuals who defied expectations, who accomplished what others deemed impossible, who refused to accept limitations placed on them by society, circumstances, or even their own fears. The only difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is that one group refuses to accept limitations. They push beyond what they were told was possible, they challenge assumptions, they question rules, they act in defiance of doubt. Limitations exist in the mind before they exist in reality. The moment you decide that something is impossible, you stop looking for solutions. You stop trying, you stop believing. But the moment you question that assumption, new possibilities emerge. Every great achievement in history began with someone refusing to accept limits. Every breakthrough, every innovation, every world-changing moment started with someone daring to believe that more was possible. People who succeed do not have fewer obstacles than others. They simply refuse to let those obstacles define them. They refuse to accept no as an answer. They refuse to settle for mediocrity. They refuse to let fear dictate their choices. When they encounter challenges, they do not see them as proof that something cannot be done. They see them as problems to be solved. The limits you accept determine the life you live. If you believe you are only capable of small things, you will only attempt small things. If you believe you are capable of greatness, you will strive for it. The ceiling of your potential is set by the beliefs you choose to accept. The moment you reject the idea that you are limited, the world opens up in ways you never imagined. Fear is the strongest enforcer of self-imposed limitations. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping outside of what is familiar. But fear is only powerful when it is obeyed. The moment you push through fear, you realize it was never as big as it seemed. The things you once thought were impossible become achievable. The risks you're afraid to take become necessary steps toward growth. People often look at successful individuals and assume they never doubted themselves, never faced obstacles, never questioned their abilities. But the truth is, they felt the same fear, faced the same struggles, and encountered the same doubts as anyone else. The difference is that they refused to let those doubts stop them. They refused to accept fear as a reason to quit. They refuse to let failure become a permanent state. Limitations are only real if you believe in them. The moment you decide to challenge them, they begin to crumble. What once seemed impossible becomes possible. What once felt out of reach becomes within grasp. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the willingness to reject the idea that you are limited. Success is the result of consistent effort, not occasional inspiration. Many people wait for the perfect moment to take action, believing that motivation must strike before they begin. They assume that success is built on grand gestures or bursts of inspiration, but in reality, it is the small, consistent actions taken daily that lead to lasting results. The most successful individuals are not necessarily those who are the most talented or the most inspired. They are the ones who show up every day, putting in effort regardless of how they feel. Discipline outweighs motivation because motivation is fleeting, but habits sustain progress. A writer does not finish a book by waiting for inspiration, but by sitting down every day and writing. An athlete does not achieve greatness by training only when they feel like it, but by committing to practice even on difficult days. The key to achieving any goal is repetition, persistence, and showing up even when the excitement fades. Small, consistent steps compound over time, creating momentum that leads to breakthroughs. Those who rely on inspiration often start strong but fade when challenges arise, while those who focus on consistency build a foundation that withstands obstacles. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stagnant is not a lack of dreams, but a lack of discipline. Effort applied consistently over time creates exponential results, while sporadic effort leads to frustration and stagnation. The greatest achievements are not built in a day, but through relentless commitment to daily progress. Discomfort is the price of growth. People often seek comfort, avoiding situations that challenge them or push them beyond their limits. However, growth only occurs outside of the comfort zone. Every time you push yourself into discomfort, whether it's learning a new skill, taking on a challenge, or facing fear, you expand your capabilities. Those who embrace discomfort develop resilience, adaptability, and strength, while those who avoid it remain stagnant. Progress requires struggle, and every great achievement is preceded by discomfort. Growth happens when you choose to do the hard things, to step into the unknown, to embrace uncertainty. The body grows stronger through resistance, and the mind sharpens through challenges. The people who achieve the most in life are not those who seek the easiest path, but those who willingly endure discomfort to reach new levels. Avoiding discomfort leads to regret because the greatest rewards come from pushing beyond perceived limits. The ability to tolerate discomfort determines the extent of one's success. The fear of failure, rejection, or struggle prevents many from pursuing their true potential, but those who accept discomfort as part of the journey are the ones who evolve. Strength is built in moments of challenge, and growth happens when comfort is left behind. Your mindset shapes your reality. The way you think influences the way you experience the world. If you believe in limitations, you will find reasons to stay within them. If you believe in possibilities, you will find ways to achieve them. Your thoughts dictate your actions, and your actions create your reality. A negative mindset breeds doubt, hesitation, and inaction, while a positive and growth-oriented mindset fosters resilience, confidence, and persistence. The most successful people are not necessarily the smartest or the luckiest. They are the ones who refuse to let limiting beliefs control them. Challenges are inevitable, but how you perceive them determines whether they become roadblocks or stepping stones. When you train your mind to see opportunities instead of obstacles, you gain the ability to turn setbacks into comebacks. The power of the mind is undeniable. Those who master it unlock their full potential. Small daily habits create long-term success. People often overestimate the impact of big changes and underestimate the power of small, consistent action. Success is not built overnight, but through tiny decisions made repeatedly. The habits you cultivate shape your future, whether in health, career, or relationships. A single workout does not make you fit, but daily exercise transforms your body over time. Reading one book does not make you knowledgeable, but reading consistently expands your mind. The accumulation of small efforts compounds, creating results that seem impossible at first. Most failures stem from inconsistency rather than lack of ability. Those who commit to small, intentional habits every day eventually achieve what others deem impossible. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. You are in control. Your mindset determines your reality. Your habits shape your success. Every single moment you have a choice. Will you settle for average, or will you step up and create the life you were meant to live? Will you let fear, doubt, and excuses hold you back, or will you break through and make it happen? Because here's what I know after decades of working with the best of the best. The people who win in life aren't the ones who wait. They're the ones who take action, who build momentum, who commit to mastering their mindset, shaping their habits, and refusing to settle. So now it's up to you. The information is here. The strategies are here. But nothing changes unless you change. Nothing happens unless you take action. So what are you going to do? Are you going to let another day pass you by? Or are you going to take the first step toward the life you deserve? Because I'll tell you this, your future starts right now. This is Tony Robbins. If this message hit home, make sure you subscribe for more. Now get out there, take action, and own your life.